Few cars capture the golden era of American muscle like the Chevy Chevelle 396. Back in the late 1960s, it was raw, unapologetic, and built to dominate the streets. With its big block V8, aggressive styling, and reputation as a tire-shredding monster, the Chevelle 396 didn't just compete, it defined the muscle car wars of its time. And now, Chevy is bringing it back. The question is, can the reborn Chevelle 396 live up to its legendary status in today's performance-driven world? Let's find out. Setup. The Chevelle nameplate has always been one of Chevrolet's most celebrated. Launched in the mid-1960s, it quickly became one of the best-selling cars in America, appealing to families, enthusiasts, and performance junkies alike. But the Chevelle SS 396, that was the one everyone remembers. Released in 1965, it was Chevrolet's answer to the Pontiac GTO, packing a 396 cubic inch big block V8 under the hood that pushed muscle cars into a new league. Affordable, fast, and stylish, it became the car of choice for an entire generation. But as emissions regulations tightened and the muscle era faded, the Chevelle eventually disappeared. For decades, fans begged Chevy to bring it back, and countless renderings, rumors, and concept designs fueled the fire. And finally, after years of speculation, the Chevelle 396 is officially back for 2026. The car that once symbolized the height of American performance has returned, but in a world of turbochargers, hybrids and EVs, how does it stack up? Rising action. Let's start with the design, because Chevy clearly knew they had to get this right. The new Chevelle 396 doesn't shy away from its heritage. From the moment you see it, you know what it is. The long hood, short deck proportions are there. The muscular fenders flare just enough to suggest power beneath, and the aggressive front end pays tribute to the late 60s Chevelle SS with a modern twist. The wide stance, low roofline, and sculpted sides give it a mean, planted look, while LED headlights and taillights sharpen the details without taking away from its classic muscle car identity. It's retro, but it's also undeniably modern. Exactly the balance fans were hoping for. Step inside, and you'll find the cabin strikes a similar chord. Chevy has blended old-school inspiration with 21st century tech. The gauge cluster can be set to mimic classic round dials, giving you that vintage muscle car feel, or switch to a fully digital performance layout with real-time telemetry. The seats are deeply bolstered yet comfortable, available in leather with stitching patterns that pay homage to the original SS 396 models. Retro touches like metallic trim and Chevelle badging, mixed seamlessly with cutting-edge features like a massive touchscreen infotainment system, wireless connectivity, and advanced driver assistance tech. But the soul of the Chevelle 396 is, of course, under the hood. True to its name, the 2026 Chevelle offers a modern take on the legendary 396 cubic inch V8. Chevy has re-engineered it into a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated beast, pumping out over 500 horsepower in its base form. And if that's not enough, a performance-tuned supercharged version is available, delivering close to 700 horsepower, putting it head-to-head with Dodge's Charger and Challenger Hellcat successors. For the purists, Chevy has made a bold choice. This car is strictly gas-powered. No hybrid assists, no EV variant, just raw, naturally aspirated muscle the way it was meant to be. Performance is exactly what you'd hope for. The Chevelle 396 launches with a roar, hitting 0-60 in just over 3.5 seconds in the supercharged trim. The naturally aspirated model is slightly slower, but delivers a visceral, old-school experience with linear power and a thunderous exhaust note. The suspension setup has been carefully tuned to balance handling with that classic muscle car straight-line dominance. In corners, the Chevelle feels sharper than you might expect for such a large, powerful car, thanks to magnetic ride control and a stiffened chassis, but it never loses that raw, untamed muscle car character. Chevy has even added multiple drive modes: street for daily cruising, track for maximum performance, and heritage mode, which dials back the electronic aids, stiffens the steering, and pipes in a deeper exhaust note, essentially recreating the wild experience of driving a late 60s muscle car, but with modern safety nets. It's a clever touch that bridges the past and present. Climax. Now here's where the Chevelle 396 really proves itself. On the track, it's brutal. Put your foot down, and the supercharged V8 doesn't just accelerate, it detonates forward, pushing you back into your seat with relentless force. The tires fight for grip, the exhaust bellows like a rolling thunderstorm, and suddenly, you remember why this car mattered so much. It's not just speed, it's theater. It's the kind of car that makes every drive feel like an event. But here's the twist. Despite all its raw power, the Chevelle isn't just about burning rubber. On the highway, it settles down into a surprisingly refined cruiser. The ride is smooth, the cabin is quiet at speed, and the modern tech features make it practical for long-distance travel. This dual personality, ferocious muscle on demand yet livable as a daily driver, is what makes the new Chevelle so impressive. It's not a relic trying to relive the past. It's a modern car that carries its heritage proudly, while still fitting into today's world. And then comes the price. The base Chevelle 396 starts around $45,000, remarkably affordable for the performance it delivers. The supercharged high-output version? Closer to $65,000. Still, compared to competitors in the muscle car and performance sedan space, it's a bargain for the horsepower per dollar ratio. Chevy has clearly positioned the Chevelle not just as a nostalgia piece, but as a serious contender in the modern performance market. Resolution and impact. So, what does the return of the Chevelle 396 mean for the muscle car world? For starters, it proves that there's still room for old-school performance in a market shifting rapidly toward electric and hybrid cars. Chevy didn't water it down. They didn't turn it into an EV crossover with a famous badge. They brought back the Chevelle as it should be: loud, powerful, aggressive, and unapologetically American. The pros are obvious. Stunning design, monster powertrains, surprisingly versatile handling, and a price that undercuts much of the competition. The cons? It's still a big, thirsty V8, which means fuel economy isn't great. And with the way regulations are moving, its long-term future could be uncertain. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the Chevelle 396 isn't about blending in with the future. It's about reminding us of what made muscle cars so beloved in the first place. For older fans, this car is a dream come true. A second chance to own a legend they may have grown up admiring. For younger buyers, it's a taste of history with modern reliability and performance. And for the American auto industry, it's a statement. Heritage matters. Emotion matters. Cars are more than just appliances. They're experiences. The 2026 Chevy Chevelle 396 isn't just back. It's better, it's louder, and it's here to prove that muscle car icons don't just fade away, they rise again. But what do you think? Did Chevy nail the rebirth of the Chevelle 396, or should they have left the legend in the past? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit like, subscribe for more first looks at the cars bringing history back to life. And share this video with anyone who still remembers the rumble of a big block on a Saturday night. Because one thing's for sure, the Chevelle is back and it's louder than ever.